Can you bond broken pieces of concrete back together again? If you're trying to bond some broken concrete, and I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of broken concrete that you can have, but if it's something that you've got that's broken and you want to put it back together, there's probably a bunch of different options that potentially could work for you. Take a look at this piece here of concrete. So we've got two pieces. We want to connect them together again. What are the options available to us? If you're bonding concrete, there's a couple of different ways that we can go about doing this. And what it's going to come down to is the amount of flexibility that you need in the repair bond. If I had some concrete and I needed to connect it back together, I mean, first of all, a lot of people think silicone. Forget about silicone. That's not the way to go for pretty much any concrete application. If silicone was the right thing in your mind, then what you're actually looking for is a concrete urethane product. Concrete urethane is like It's like silicone on steroids. It's the same thing, but it's so much stronger of a bond. So much, it's hard as heck to clean up. If you get some around, it really makes a big mess. You know, silicone's kind of the same thing, but not to the same degree. And the flexibility of a silicone bond is a lot weaker than a urethane bond. So concrete urethane is an option that you could look at if you're trying to fix some concrete pieces, but it's not the thing that I would look to most of all. If you've got broken concrete and you're trying to reattach that concrete together, the number one thing that I'm going to recommend that you use is a construction grade adhesive. There's a lot of different kinds out there. You probably recognize something like that or something similar to it. If you see construction epoxy or construction adhesive, that's the right stuff. And it's usually like a brown beige color. So this is like the crazy glue of construction adhesives. You use it for a lot of different applications. One of those applications can be bonding concrete together. It will bond onto that concrete so well. Like, for example, if you took two bricks and you just use this construction adhesive and you connected them together, and then let's say you tried to take them apart later, the bricks would crumble and shatter before that let go. But you know what? It doesn't last forever. I've done that process for a lot of different things, and I normally find that after about 3 years' time or 5 years' time, the bond fails and lets go. The concrete that has connected to the construction adhesive can let go over time. And so that's kind of the disadvantage. If you want something strong, like a construction grade adhesive, there's very little flexibility in it. If you need flexibility in that joint, like for example, this is exposed to weather conditions where it's hot sometimes and cold sometimes, well, that means expansion and contraction. So you need some flexibility in your repair, or else it's likely going to fail. If not right away, then eventually, probably earlier than you're hoping for. And that's where something like a concrete urethane product might be a little bit better. If I had an ornamental piece of concrete and it lived inside of my house in a climate-controlled environment, I think construction adhesive is the thing that I would go to. I would apply some to both sides. I would stick them together, and then I would use a clamp to hold that together for 24 hours, or however long it says in the particular brand that you use. Allow it to set and cure, and that's going to make an incredibly strong bond that probably won't break when it's inside the house. If this is something that's exposed to environmental conditions like I was talking about before, I'm probably looking towards a concrete urethane product, and I would apply and use it in the same fashion. I would put it to both sides and I would mate them together, and then I would use a clamp and allow sufficient time for that to dry and cure. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach repairing concrete, especially concrete that's broken, because it is a porous substance and you can make a pretty secure bond depending on the right material that you use for the job. I hope you found this information helpful.